Good morning, students. Welcome to English Conversation class. I hope that you have your workbook and your student book with you because we are going to answer some exercises in your student book and in your workbook. Today, we are going to go back and talk about daily chores and what you do at home and what is your daily routines. So, for example, we have the first picture, we have mop the floor, and then the second, do the dusting, and then sweep the floor. So, any of these will be your work or your daily chores, or maybe your mom is doing all the household chores. And so, for the next one, also, we have do the laundry. Of course, most of the times we wash our clothes. And then after we do the laundry, we hang out our clothes, our wet clothes. We need to hang it so that to make it dry. And then we also have the third picture, vacuum. It means to say taking out all the dirt on the floor. Okay, for the next picture we have cook. So every day we cook or maybe sometimes, and then we also have the second picture, make the bed. So after we woke up or we wake up, we make the bed. And then we also have the last picture, take the rubbish out or take the garbage out, like what you do in school. So it's the same at home. And so for the next one, we have do the dishes, water the flowers or watering the plants, and mow the lawn. So we have do the dishes after we eat, and then every day we water our plants from the outside, or if we have some herb plants or vegetable plants, and then mow the lawn. So mow the lawn means if you have grass or weeds already, they are already growing taller, then you mow the lawn or you cut it so that your yard and your lawn is clean, looks clean. And so the next picture that we have do the shopping. Wow, do the grocery shopping. And then we have do the ironing and then wash the car. So the shopping, we do that maybe every week to buy what we need for our house or for home. And then we have do the ironing so that we have a clean clothes and tidy clothes so that if you go to school, your clothes they are not crumpled. They look clean and neat. And then we also have wash the car because especially here in Thailand we have a lot of pigeons and then they take shit on our car. And so we clean them up, or you can help your father and your mother by washing the car, and then you have a clean car. And so the next picture that we have feed the dog, or if you have any pets, you can feed your fish, birds, or dog, or turtle if you have your own pets. And then take the dog for a walk. So it's very important that your dog is also doing exercise every day. So you're walking together with your dog and make them poop in a vacant area. And so the next picture that we have is wash the windows or clean the windows. So we do that most of the time in our house because it's very dusty and it's not healthy for our health. So we need to clean our windows. So that's all for the household chores. So I would like you to get your student's book and open on page 92. So, on page 92 on your student book, I would like you to listen very carefully and write down your answer inside the star. Okay? So, we are going to begin. Number 1, I always wash dishes. Number 1, I always wash dishes. Number 2, we wash the car every Saturday. Number 2, we wash the car every Saturday. Number 3, I rarely mop the floor. Number 3, I rarely mop the floor. Number 4, She often washed the window. Number 4. She often washed the window. Number 5. She never make the bed. Number 5. She never make the bed. Number 6. He puts out the garbage every weekend. Number 6. He puts out the garbage every weekend. Okay, so we will move to number 2. So, you need to listen very well, and according to what you hear, you're going to circle the answer about Molly's daily chores. Okay, number 1. Molly always sweep the floor. Molly always sweep the floor. Number 2. Molly never mop the floor. Molly never mop the floor. Number 3. Molly sometimes clean the windows. Molly sometimes clean the window. Number 4. Molly rarely wash the dishes. Molly rarely wash the dishes. Okay, that's all, students. And so for the last round, please get your workbook and open on page 62. So on your workbook, page 62. Workbook, page 62. We are going to answer. So we need to write the missing word. So we have always, often, sometimes, rarely, or never. So we have here 7 times a week. So I always sweep the floor. But if you're going to say 0, that is what? Okay, never. So you need to write down never. So here you have, I never wash the dishes. So how about if it is 2 times a week? 2 times a week. So you are going to have rarely. Rarely. Because it's not every day. So you have rarely here. So I rarely mop the floor. I rarely mop the floor. So what about if you have 6 times a week? 6 times a week. So what would be your answer? Okay, so the answer will be often. I often water the plants because it's 6 days in 1 week. Okay, so next we have 1 times a week. 1 times a week. So 1 times a week is still the same as rarely. It's still the same as 2 times in 1 week. So we have, you're going to read it. I rarely do my homework. Okay. So we have now 4 times a week. So 4 times a week will be, yes, that is sometimes. I sometimes clean the windows. Okay, very good. So let's go to number 2 in your workbook. So number 2, so we are going to look for subjects, subject pronouns. So we have here they, She, Sally, and Mark. You and Jackie. The teacher. She. So they use do. I, you, we, they use do. He, she, it use the. So this one, how often do they clean the bathroom? So number 2, how often? Okay, does she put out the trash? And so we have number 3, how often do, of course, because it's Sally and Mark, there are 2 people here. How often do Sally and Mark wash the dishes? And number 4, how often do you and Jackie mop the floor? So number 5, how often the teacher? Okay, only one person. Does the teacher teach the students? Okay, number 6, how often does she water the plants? So now we have here, complete the questions, then answer them. So this one, you can do, you can write down whatever you want. So for example, how often do you wash the dishes? Or how often do you clean the windows? How often does your sister put out the trash? Or how often does your mother cook? So those are daily chores. So you can write down also your answers around here when you are finished making your own questions. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, students.